Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today apparently we have some interesting evidence that the ISS is completely fake. So we'll have a look at it. We've checked out this channel once before, or a couple of times on my Bite Size channel. Level Earth Observer and his evidence against the ISS. So let's take a look at this evidence, shall we?
Historical moments from the International Space Station. Let's have a look.
Let's do so.
First up, we got this infamous clip in which we get a harness flyby in the background. Look.
It's not easy up here, I'll tell you. Looking down at the Earth on a cloudy day, it's kind of hard to tell where you are. But if you can make out some of the land masses, you can recognize
Random
them.
object
And then the
floats
other
by.
way is we have a
man.
computer program that...
That is terrible, lads. I'm going to zoom in and put that on loop. 2 secs.
Easy up here, I'll tell you. Looking down at the Earth on a cloudy day, it's kind of hard to tell where you are. But if you can make out some of the land masses, you can
Random object floats by.
recognize them. And then the other way is we have a computer program that...
That is terrible, lads.
Oh my god, someone floats on the ISS. But I will point out, he actually does zoom in, so he's confident in his science. Let's have a look.
And of course, when you zoom in on our mate in the background, doing his harness flyby, and of course, it's blatantly a harness. The special effects team let him down that day.
I think they did an excellent job at stabilizing him like that without any visual aid, to be honest. Also, why? Why add the person in the background? If they're special effects, they don't need the person in the background. They've got a guy flipping a hat in zero gravity. Let's go back to the beginning. He's got two people floating. Okay, I know we can't see their feet, but their motion.
Some of the land masses, you can recognize
You
them.
can,
And then the
you
other
can
way is
see
we have
that
a
they're
computer
not
program
just
that-
stood there.
Doing his harness flyby, and of course, it's blatantly a harness.
Right, there we go. We've got a good picture now. Right, so I couldn't really zoom in on the object in full screen mode or on the website, so I've copied it over and put it into GIMP. GIMP is kind of like Photoshop. So now I can zoom in. Let's have a look. We can't really see still because it's a bit blurry. Maybe I can sharpen it a little. Do that. That's not good. Okay, that's probably the best we're going to get. We can see that it is basically a stick sticking out of the rear end of this individual. Okay, so this is all it is. This is his evidence. This small section here. Yeah, just that flyby. That's the flyby, and that's his evidence.
He comes on.
So we can see he's being held up by that stick, which is located pretty much at the top of his arse, which would be about here, I think.
Obvious.
There, right. It's basically his waist. I think he might tip over, even at that level. You know, the center of gravity of a human, he'd tip. But I just don't see why. They don't need him there. They wouldn't add him in if they couldn't get rid of that harness. Anyway, let's go on to his next point.
And in this second clip, we get to see another technique which NASA use to fool their fans. Essentially, spacewalks are filmed underwater. Pay particular attention to this.
The ISS is underwater. That's right, yes. The ISS is apparently underwater, according to Level Earth Observer. Number one, I still don't know what you believe in. You just don't believe in stuff. What is the purpose of putting the ISS underwater? I get that it's to fake space, but why are we trying to fake space? And what is space then, if space is fake? I don't know what you believe in, so I don't know if I should say what's beyond the firmament or what is beyond the atmosphere. I don't know.
This hatch during this EVA. Very shortly, you're going to see a scuba diver's tank appear. Look.
Okay, I don't see anything right now.
That there is a scuba diver's tank. It's
Where? This is an astronaut. This is the escape hatch. This is something. I'm not sure what this is. If this is the scuba diver's tank that you're on about, let's say you're right and this is a scuba diver's tank. Where are the bubbles? Like, there are no you'd see bubbles coming off of it because it's underwater. You know, if you're using it to breathe, yeah, you would have the bubbles when you exhale, right? Obviously, they're in a spacesuit, so they don't need it. And there's a reason they're in a spacesuit, because they're not underwater. The suits would be designed different if they were. That's why you have a scuba suit, right? But I know they're trying to fake space. I'm sorry. So they've got to do it. I don't know what you're on about. You zoomed in on the previous one, okay, to make it very clear that you knew what you were talking about. The fact that you haven't done it on this one, and I have watched the whole video, he doesn't actually zoom in, tells me that you don't really know what's going on here either. You've just looked at it and gone, oh yeah, floating object there, scuba tank, must be. But there's no bubbles. And even if it wasn't just the exhaling, the objects in the water would make bubbles as they move through it.
It's well known anyway that these people film their spacewalks underwater. This is 2 clips we've looked at, one with a harness.
And I guess, fair enough, I have seen a lot of people trying to prove that the ISS is underwater. There are actual pictures of the ISS that seem to have bubbles floating away from them. In fact, it's so amazing because these bubbles should be floating up, right? But these bubbles in this one, they must be in some form of special water because the bubbles shoot off in one direction and in a different direction and in another direction entirely. Maybe if it is underwater, then it's still in space because gravity doesn't seem to be working properly. I'm not entirely sure what they are. I think they would be debris or dust particles. I'm not sure. Probably ice shards as it forms on the outside, but I don't know for 100% certainty. Now, if you're like me, you may wonder, why people make stuff on this. Surely he's the only person that believes this. Okay, let's have a look at the comments. So yes, I've made a comment here as well. I've added on my ideas and the thoughts I have behind it, which are pretty obvious. Crazy that people still defend this and NASA. We don't need to defend it. It's there. There's buildings of them. They exist. Okay, the ISS you can actually see in the sky as it goes by. Yet Simon Dan cites footage from these clowns as proof that demonstrable science is wrong. Haven't seen any demonstrable science from flat earthers or whatever Level Earth Observer is. The guy on the zipline in the back had me cracking up. Looked like an alien. Everyone looks to the left while he floats by on the right. When possible, please see if you can upload in at least full HD. I agree. It would be very helpful. Much easier to see the details needed for ball levers to consider waking up already. There must be a reason why all the ISS backdrops look so messy and confusing. I think they were just designed to look technically impressive to space fans and to take some critical attention away from those goofy astronaut posers. Anyway, the point is, people are believing him. I'm never going to change his mind. There'll always be something he comes up with to completely disregard anything anyone says. However, maybe if viewers end up watching his channel and then finding mine or Simon Dan's channel or anyone else, pretty much, then that should at least help stop people believing in random things like this that could actually ruin lives in some respect. I've heard stories of people who used to believe in flat earth and how it ruined their family relationships. So I find it kind of important to at least try and avoid that happening to other people. So Level Earth Observer, unless you can provide some demonstrable science, then unfortunately your points are just invalid. But to everyone else, feel free to click the like button if you enjoyed the video and let me know if you find any other videos like it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around in one of the 2 videos on screen right now.